Today I want to talk to you about how to leave behind the meat, dairy, and eggs and create an active transformation in your life, how to sustain that lifelong, how to do that. How did I do that? I want to share with you part of my story to show you how I did it. And I can tell you that my circumstances were not ideal at the time, but I still was able to make it work. And I do want to share that with you today so that you have so you know how to do it yourself. If you're struggling, if you're overweight, if you're sick, if you're tired, you're depressed, you have anxiety, etc., 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 you want to change your diet, you want to change your lifestyle, you want to get motivated and inspired, this is the video for you. To inspire you, hopefully, to go vegan and to build muscle in the process. Don't you want to be in shape and look good? This is my physique right now, and I'm a vegan. I've been a vegan for 5 years. And I've been able to achieve a really good muscle mass and size as a vegan. But first, I want to start with sharing a passage with you from this amazing book. And this book is called Back to Eden by Jethro Kloss. He wrote this book between 1920 and 1939. This guy was so ahead of his time, but he knew how to heal the body from all of the ailments that happen to us, and that God provides us a way to do so. When a child is given meat, white flour products, cane sugar products, candies, etc., he loses his taste and desire for wholesome, natural foods. The eating of these detrimental things by children is responsible for many illnesses. I just want to that's such an important few sentences right there, because we are taught as children how to eat, and these large corporations and businesses want customers for life, and they also want generational customers, and they know this through marketing. They know how to do this. So the way that they ensure that happens is they make sure that mom and dad buy the products at the store and get it on your baby's tongue, get it in your baby's taste buds, and get it in there so that the baby acquires a taste for it. And that's all that meat, dairy, and eggs are acquired tastes. They're not the natural food that we're supposed to be eating. They are taught acquired tastes. So it starts at a young age. So now we're in a process of relearning, and we're relearning how to eat properly and how to nourish our bodies instead of abusing our bodies with dead food, okay? That's why I'm here, is to share with you the miraculous transformation that I've experienced in my life, the amazing transformation coming from where I came from. So I'm a drug addict, and I came from a pretty different place. I used to be a very different person from the person that you see sitting before you right now. I was an incredibly dishonest person. I would stay up all night long and would be using drugs in my room all night long, and I would lock myself away. I'd be staring at my phone, I'd be playing video games, I'd be watching movies, and that's all I did. And I would show up, I would go to random people's houses, I would hang out with really, really sketchy people, and I would do, I would do things that were, I don't know how to say this. I did things that were not cool. The reason why I got into drugs in the first place was because I never thought I was worthy enough. Like I always felt very, odd on this planet. I felt very out of place in society and around people. I felt out of character. I didn't feel like I belonged, and I didn't know how to relate to people. And so I was drawn to people who were doing things that seemed really fun but were actually really bad, to like buck the system or whatever. I was revolting and rebellious, so I wanted to, the people who were breaking the rules, who looked cool, I thought they were cool, I wanted to be cool too. So I started smoking cigarettes. That was nicotine, that was a drug. It definitely had an impact on my brain. And then from there I started alcohol, and then I started getting into heavier drugs. And as I was putting these substances in my body, I started to not have to deal with things. I started not having to cope with my emotions, and I started to fall into this place of perpetual fun. I thought it was just a almost like almost like a neverland type place that I was transported to in my mind and in my reality. So I was there for quite a long time, and it was nice because I didn't have to take anything seriously there. I didn't have to have responsibilities, or if I did have responsibilities, I could be completely numbed out and blasted out of my mind while I was doing them. And yeah, I became somebody who was a thief. I became a liar, a thief, a drug dealer. I became many things that I am no longer today. Ashamed of myself. I was so afraid and I was so sad. But even in that, even though in those darkest moments, I tried to seek out the light. I was trying to find the light. I was crying out, trying to reach out for help. I was trying to find a way. I wanted to be done with the drugs, but they had such a hold on me, I could not stop, you guys. At a certain point, it didn't become fun anymore. I became addicted and I could not stop. And I replaced food with drugs. And I actually got down to about 130 pounds, and I was extremely skinny. And I was it's a weird type of skinny. It's a very sick type of skinny that is very unnatural. And my body was contorted in ways that are very unnatural. And I started getting weird things on my skin, and I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped brushing my teeth. I stopped showering. It was a very, very dark place. But I will say that my chances of recovery to sobriety definitely increased because I went vegan, because I stopped, not only did I go vegan, but I went whole foods plant-based, and I stopped eating processed food. And so that had a direct impact in how quickly I recovered and how much my thinking changed and everything. Now, I can tell you, as someone who's been in rehab and who's been in detox facilities and who's been in sober living and halfway houses and recovery programs, that these people in these programs are never taught how to eat well and do not want to eat well. Maybe they do, maybe they don't know how, but they eat very, very badly. I've probably seen some of the worst diets when I was in recovery, and I think that has a direct impact on recovery. So because I didn't eat that way, and a lot of those people I was with have relapsed multiple times, and some are sober, some aren't. But when I went sober, I also decided to go vegan at the same time, and it was in the sober living house, which I had 5 other roommates in the one, and then I had 6 in another. So I had about 6 other roommates in an apartment, and it was 2 guys per room. It was a 3-bedroom, 2 guys per room, and I made it work. If you want to go vegan, you will find a way, and you can achieve the results that I've achieved. You know, I changed my life. I put in the work, I changed my life, and it shows. It shows today. So let's talk about leaving the meat, dairy, and eggs behind, building an active lifestyle, and shifting your mindset so that this becomes a lifelong transformation. Okay, so it starts with mindset, obviously. Going vegan is not just a diet. It's a shift in the way that we think about life and consciousness and compassion, right? So you gotta have a reason to go vegan. You have to have a strong reason to go vegan. So I recommend watching Earthlings or going online and watching Dominion. These are powerful documentaries that will show you the truth of the meat, dairy, and egg industries. You need to see that truth with your own eyes, and then you need to decide from there if you want to continue supporting these industries. People go vegan for health reasons as well, for the environment. Those are all additional benefits, which I have a video. I have another video on this channel. I think it's called Why I Became Vegan. So if you want to watch that, I'll explain to you why I became vegan in the first place. So we got to rewire our thinking and our beliefs surrounding the way that we approach this. We don't want to think, oh, I'm just giving up meat and dairy and eggs and I have to switch to something else. If you go into it like with that type of mindset, you're more likely going to fail because you're focused on what you're losing and not thinking about what you're adding and what you're gaining. Okay, so you got to change your mindset. So instead of thinking, oh, I'm giving up meat, and telling your friends that and believing that, oh, I have to give up meat, I can't eat any meat anymore. Instead of saying those types of things, you need to say, no, I'm choosing freedom from illness, inflammation, and fatigue. I'm choosing freedom from disease. I'm choosing compassion. I'm stepping into my manhood. I'm standing up for the most vulnerable beings on this planet. I'm taking a stand for once in my life. I'm living, I'm aligning my actions with my values. So that's how you do it. And changing your mindset in that way will allow you to keep this lifelong. So what is one belief about food or health that you're going to let go of today? It's a limiting belief. I want you to think of something and then let it go. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of pointers of things that will save you so much stress and struggle and time. Things that took me 5 years to learn. I'm gonna give them to you right now. Here they are. Replace your meat, okay? Replace meat with beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh, and or seitan. Use these high protein plant-based foods in your meals to replace the meat. Plant foods tend to be less satiating at first when we're transitioning, and also they're typically lower in protein, so you need to eat higher protein plant-based foods. This will help you feel more satisfied. So make sure you're using tofu, tempeh, or seitan, and even meat replacement products, especially at first. The goal is to get to a whole foods plant-based, but at first, to transition, you might need to use some of these tools. That's why they're there. That's what I did. I never would have went vegan if it weren't for Beyond Burgers and other meat substitutes like chicken nuggets and even fish fillets and things like that. I loved that stuff in my first 2 years of being vegan. Half your plate should be veggies, some raw, some cooked, and then you need to have another part of your plate be protein, and then you have your grains, okay? That's a simple, easy way to think about it, like your dinner. Have your plate like that. Make sure that you're using flavor. Make sure that you use spices and seasonings and sauces that you love to put on your favorite meat dishes. Okay, it's oftentimes not the actual meat that we love the taste of, it's actually the seasonings and the sauces. So if you're somebody who really likes barbecue, make sure that you're making barbecue dishes with plants, okay? You gotta do that. You gotta start using spices and sauces in your cooking. Don't eat bland and boring. I tried doing that at first. I didn't know what I was doing, and the food was so boring and so plain, and I didn't end up eating very much of it. I got really weak and I got tired because I wasn't eating a lot. I was eating way under my calories. So that's a mistake that I made. It took me a long time to figure out. So I'm telling you now in the hopes that that doesn't happen to you. All right, and my last tip for you in this video is a mindset tip. This is what I'm gonna tell you. It's so important. Just start, just go, just start. Do not wait for motivation to happen. Start and the motivation will come. You'll never feel motivated to start. Okay, it's time to make a change today, right now. Don't wait. Start now and do. Once you've done something, you've fallen into a routine and you've consistently done it for at least 30 days, then you will be motivated. So people often make that mistake of that they're waiting for some kind of motivation for the right time. Maybe they're waiting for the money. These things will never happen. It'll never be right. The money will never be right. The motivation will never be there. The timing will always seem wrong, but you just got to start. The motivation will follow, because what happens is anytime you start something new, anytime you change something, you're trying to become healthy, you're trying to create a new routine, you're trying to start something new, it's an energy. It's an energy like anything else. And what's happening is you're changing your energy. You're changing the direction of the energy. And that requires a change in action and movement. So you gotta do something different. You gotta make the energy go in a different direction. If you're a couch potato and you can't seem to get motivated, it's hard to break that cycle, because that's your energy pattern. The energy of your body and everything is going in that direction. So to change that can be really difficult. So you gotta just start. You have to do it. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It might be unpleasant. Don't let your mind talk you out of it. Just do. The motivation will happen. So you got to change your energy pattern. And I'm going to leave you with that. Otherwise, I can make this video 35 minutes long, but I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you watching this. Please like this video. I really appreciate that. It really helps it get recommended to more people. I'm really trying to help more people, so please like this video, and also please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I would like more people who are looking to change their life and transform their body and their mind and their diets. People who are already vegan, who are looking to go vegan, who have been vegan before. I'm here to help, so please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys.